Boyfriend's 23 male, mom wants him to break up with me, 22 female. Okay, so this one is a bit of a doozy, so bear with me. I've 22 female, been dating my boyfriend, 23 male, for 4 years, ever since we met freshman year of college. His parents, especially his mother, have always been controlling. They monitor his bank account activity, got very upset with him when they found out we were having sex, and really didn't want us to move in together after we graduated college, preferring that we got married before we lived together. His mother has also said some pretty heinous things about me to him, saying that he was only dating me for free sex, judging my family's financial situation, etc. I always knew she was judgmental and protective, and I've accepted it, until recently when my boyfriend and I moved in together, which she has always been opposed to, but that's when things really took a turn. Some context: I have struggled with chronic illness for the majority of his and I's relationship, which he has always understood and been supportive of. She recently found out about my health situation. I've never felt comfortable sharing it with her, because my boyfriend had been worried about my worsening state and had been pulling more weight around the house. We are now taking time off, apart after moving out of our toxic living situation, and it was mostly my idea, and I felt I needed time to focus on my health and next steps in life. He agreed, and we both thought it would be best to date ourselves for a while, re-evaluating our relationship when the time comes. However, we still talk occasionally, and he shared with me that his mom gave him a lecture on how she's deeply concerned about him, because he doesn't have a job, didn't take an internship she wanted him to do, and also in regards to how I treat him. She has been telling him that she thinks I'm codependent on him, am using him, and am a manipulative partner. She's been sending him articles about these topics and been asking him if they resonate. She's done this multiple times over the past few months. She has also told him that she thinks he should break up with me, or that she hopes he makes the right choice regarding his and I's relationship. She's also been telling this to other members of his family, the details of which I'm not sure, but saying that the whole family is concerned about my boyfriend. I now have to worry about how members of his family, some of whom I've never met, will perceive me, thinking I'm a toxic girlfriend. My boyfriend and I have discussed our relationship dynamic many times, as well as the topic of codependency, and every time we come to the conclusion that it does not resonate in terms of our relationship. I have also told him that I need to know if feels that I'm taking advantage of him, am dependent on him, and he has never told me anything close to that. We also seem to have very healthy discussions surrounding this, to make sure we do not have an unhealthy relationship, and if he truly felt like we had an unfair dynamic, I would completely understand if he needed to take space from me. So to summarize, his mom thinks it's unfair that my boyfriend has been supporting me through my health journey, that I do not consider his needs, and am a manipulative partner. He tried to ask her for concrete examples for why she thinks this is the case, but she has not been able to offer any. If I genuinely thought she thinks I'm a bad partner, I would genuinely like to sit down and talk to her and discuss why she thinks that, hearing her perspective, and offering my own experience in return. However, I think this just has more to do with the way she has always judged me in our relationship. This is also not a unique experience. She also hates her oldest son's girlfriend because she's older, has tattoos, didn't go to college, and is touchy with him. I have met her, and she seems nothing but nice and loving, and she has also felt scrutinized by his family, his mother in particular. I just feel completely stuck on what to do. I will not apologize for having a chronic illness, but I am also just exhausted by feeling as if nothing I do will ever be good enough for her or his family. I'm deeply frustrated with my boyfriend for not sticking up for me more, and I just don't know how I'm supposed to move forward with a relationship with her, or my boyfriend for that matter. He has always had a problem sticking up for me to his family, and his mother is so manipulative that I don't think he's ever going to not worry about what she thinks. I also really don't want him to miss out on a healthy relationship with his mother because of me. How do I move forward? Is this just a lost cause? I really can't handle people saying I'm manipulative. I should be broken up with when I'm on this path where I'm finally starting to physically feel better, and I'm tired of feeling like my boyfriend doesn't stick up for me or communicate with me clearly about his own feelings on the situation. I can tell what his mother thinks is getting to him and that he feels more resentful of me than usual, but won't talk about it. Is this worth ending my relationship over? I need to focus on myself and I'm just over the drama and toxicity. Too long did not read. Boyfriend's mom is telling him that he should break up with me because I'm manipulative and codependent, which he and I agree is not true, but he also has a hard time sticking up for me, and lets what she says get to him. What do I do? How do I move forward with my relationship with him and his family? Should I? Thank you so much for listening to this, and advice is welcome and wanted. Heart. Typical helicopter parenting. In all likelihood she will never accept of a partner for her children if she didn't pick them herself or don't fit the impossible standards she has in her head. Your boyfriend probably feels beaten down, has been psychologically harmed by the unhealthy family dynamics. It will probably be a hard sell, but maybe you can try individual, couples counseling. You shouldn't have to do anything. It's up to your boyfriend to tell his mom to back off and that he doesn't want to hear her badmouth you anymore. He really didn't need to tell you about all the awful things she said in the first place. Why did he think you even needed that information? What does it matter what his mom thinks? He's a grown-up. That doesn't really sound like a you problem, to be honest. Either he sticks up for you or you just decide whether you care or not. If it bothers you, then move on from him. If you decide to deal with it, then you'll have to deal with it. But there's nothing you as the girlfriend can do. It's totally up to him and his family. Since no one has mentioned it, I'm just going to drop these here. If you see any threads similar to your situation, send them to your guy. Maybe if he sees that others have problems, and husbands that defend their partner, he might wake up. But you guys are young. If you feel like you don't want to deal with that family for the rest of your life, don't. If he's really worth it, he's going to have to be on your team. Just no just no so. He needs to get a job, manage his own money and cut her off from his life. Just because someone is family doesn't mean they deserve to be in your life. Sometimes toxic energy and negativity comes from those who should be our closest people. I felt so much better in my own life when I got to 18 and no longer had to attend any family gathering or see any of them, full stop, including parents. I even moved to another country for a guy just to get away from them. 10 years later I still don't see any of them except for my dad, as I can't cope with family drama. I want a simple drama-free life. If y'all already taking time apart, it might just be better to let it go. It's not good for your health. Also, is this kid like a trust fund dude or what? How does he support you son's job if that's the case? Didn't even bother reading past the title. If your adult boyfriend lets his mama influence who he decides to date, then you don't need him. Get with a real man who makes his own decisions. Maybe look into dating older men. We will treat you better and we have more experience in how to please women. First of all, your boyfriend is with you, right? If his mother is controlling, he need to create some boundaries. It's up to him. Second of all, two guys have been dating for 4 years. Relationships are not always colorful. If he loves you with the chronic illness, that's what you have to think about. Je accepts as you are. That's amazing. I understand the pressure of not be good enough, but you have to be yourself for your boyfriend. Not other person, the here family. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Also, if you love him and if he loves you, that's what's matter. About the job, his mother is right about that. If you want to live together, both should focus both in relationship and career. There are some mothers that will never think that any girlfriend that they have will never be good enough for them. It's sad. It's not fair to the boyfriends to have to put up with this. It's obvious that his mother is never going to change. The ball is in his court, and he needs to decide when he's had enough. It's obvious that it's affecting him mentally and he's the only one that can decide what to do. Don't pressure him. He's got enough going on. His mother is toxic to him. He just doesn't know it yet. Just give him some space to figure things out on his own. This is a complicated matter and it has many angles to be discussed, which I will not do it. However, I have been in a similar situation as you, where I wasn't desired by my then GF's mother. She, my GF, sticked with me and finally we got married, which translated in an estranged relationship between our family and her mom. We visited her very rarely and I was polite but distant. In August 2022 we will celebrate our 30th anniversary of our wedding, since married, and I thank God for the life I had with her. Let your boyfriend decide, but he must stick to that decision, whatever it will be. Success. The problem is that you have fallen in love with a boy and not a man. His mum will never stop. If anything, it will get worse as the relationship goes on, and who needs that kind of stress? You need to give him two options. Either he recognizes his mum is toxic and cuts her off, or you're getting out of this relationship as she is too overbearing. This is never going to change. You did not say what is the culture you are discussing or if this was a cultural thing. My spouse is Chinese and had her mother's nose in our marriage for many years. Basically he, your BF, and his mother have their own relationship. And you are not special, you are the tool at the moment. Anyone in your shoes will not be good enough. My mother-in-law is jealous of me and my relationship with her daughter. The best advice you received was set boundaries for yourself, your boyfriend, and in-law. Don't discuss your relationship with the in-law, no need. If you are wanting approval, forget it. I can go on and on with examples. I just gave you a short version. Your boyfriend can help by not discuss you and your relationship. Period. Stop. This is not a you or him thing. This is a mother thing. Clearly, no woman will ever be good enough for her children, and in the end, she will end up alone because the light will shine on her controlling narc behavior soon enough. He does need to stick up for you more, which is something you could discuss in couples counseling. His mother also needs therapy. Sounds like the mom is toxic. She probably doesn't like the fact that you are making your boyfriend experience life in a way that she isn't in direct control of. It's not you she hates the idea that he has anyone in his life that isn't her. She needs to get some professional help. Best thing he could do. She's correct if you need to get advice here. Your boyfriend needs to divorce his mom. Your boyfriend needs to go no contact. His mother is never going to stop. No girl will be good enough, nothing they do will ever live up to the expectations she's made in her head. Because it isn't about you, it's always gonna be about her. You can't win this contest. He's the only one who can stop this. I know he probably thinks he's helped by letting you know what his mother thinks, transparency and all, but she's gonna keep using that open communication line to feed you both poison. He's gotta say enough. Long story short, fuck them. Didn't even have read it all to understand what's going on. This woman is trying to micromanage her son's life. I would not be able to deal with any of that shit and would immediately leave the relationship or any possibly of having this man in my life. His mother is a just no and will never be happy with his choices and will always be a burr in your side. If he will not stand up for you, move on. There are better men with better caring, loving families out there that would welcome you with arms wide open. Take the time to truly better yourself alone and figure out just what you want and need in a relationship with yourself and others. You didn't mention mom's age. Seems like a case of helicopter parenting. However, I do have to ask, why call him your boyfriend if you decided to split up? Sure, you both connect with each other and talk now and then, but it seems like you guys are already broken up, especially when you said that you needed time to date yourselves and reevaluate your relationship going forward. That's usually a sign that you guys are breaking up cordially. I mean, I'm not sure, other than his mother, what made you split up, considering you admitted to him pulling more weight to assist you with your illness. Regardless, I do hope you get better. Not your boyfriend's fault for being raised by a manipulative narcissist his whole life. You have a relationship with him, not his family. I'd stay with him and just avoid dealing with his family. Honestly, he'd probably be better off with less contact with him too. You have a boyfriend problem, op. He's sharing your private information with her, his private banking information as well. She keeps putting you down and he actually needs to be told what to say to her when she pulls her BS. You're too young for this, only 22 and already in a relationship for 4. Take care of your health and live life, not stuck to a man who can't say no to mommy. Sounds just like my ex's dad. Same exact scenario in terms of being controlling in our sex life and didn't want us to move in. When we moved in, he made things even harder as my ex was working for him, so he'd threaten our livelihood anytime he was unhappy with something we were doing. My ex and I never exactly chose to break up. One day his dad sent some minions to pick my ex up from our apartment and I never saw him again. About a month after that, my ex's dad had him evict me from the apartment we shared. My advice is to figure it out before it gets really messy. Don't ignore any flags. He is either going to stand up for you against his mom or not. My ex was never willing to stand up for me because of his job situation. My ex's mother was the same. The relationship we had was almost perfect from all the points of view, but in the end his mother managed to come a lot between us and we decided to break up. However, we were very young and it was not possible for him to cut off his mother. But you are older, you can already be financially independent, and your boyfriend may consider taking a short break from communicating with his mother. This should warn her and teach her to stop being so controlling if she doesn't want to lose her son. But you should let your boyfriend take this decision. That's his mom and he should manage this problem. It sounds like he doesn't have a healthy relationship with his mother, period. She sounds really toxic and that has nothing to do with you. Ask him what he wants and is important to him. If both you and his mom are important, the least he can do is ask her to stop making rude comments and assumptions about you, because you are going to be a part of his life. As for you, all you can do is be supportive. You can't change people if they don't want to change. As long as you know who you are and your true intentions with others, that's all that matters. Fuck manipulative, insecure mother, father-in-laws and their BS. Your boyfriend needs to grow up. He's a common type of guy women encounter while dating. He can be amazing, great boyfriend, hardworking, etc. Only catch is he's a package deal with his mom. It's his job to deal with his mother and stand his ground. Just think what she would be like as a mother-in-law, and how you would just have to deal with it because he won't. He and his family are the problem. It's up to you whether the relationship is worth saving and dealing with his shit family forever. The mom is right. You sound ignorant.